What's up, guys? Welcome to another video in the series of an RV Airstream Basecamp tech out. Now, I know you're going to say, wow, you've already done a booster, cell phone booster. But you know what's cool about doing boosters is, especially multiple ones, is you can do a head-to-head and you can tell which ones are the best one. It's a battle. You know, it's a knockout round. We're going to have 2 boosters for this. Now, something that the SureCall Fusion to Go did was, like, it did vehicle. Okay, this is the Drive R or Drive X RV for your RV. And this is Weboost. And this is the cell signal booster. Get reliable signal and faster data. Multiple users, 50 dB max gain. It's in-vehicle booster for all classes of RVs. Again, it's going to work for all RVs. Again, Airstream, solid aluminum. All right, of all RVs, you want a cell phone booster, and it's an Airstream. I'm just saying this should appeal to Airstream owners. Just like that, if you don't have a signal booster in your Airstream, you got to have one, unless you're just going off grid. All right, then yeah, don't worry about it. Motorhomes and towables. Again, works with all types of RVs. Let's look now. I do want to give a shout out. This is sponsored and sent to the channel by Gulf Signal Distributing. They're one of Weboost's #1 distributors. Definitely, I'll have a link in the show notes about them, and we're going to try to offer some kind of setup with them. So watch the show notes. If you're in the market for a Weboost, these guys are like the best ones to go through. You know, you can go through Amazon, you can go through Wilson Electronics, which is the maker of Weboost, by the way. But we're going to try to work a special thing out with Gulf Signal Distribution. So definitely check their site out. I'll have, like I said, all the information below in the show notes. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the box. How it works. All right. 1, it receives the signal. That key point. If there is no signal, like if you're out in the middle of nowhere and the nearest tower is 100 miles away, which there are places like that in the United States, then this ain't going to do you any good. It's not going to make a signal from nothing. And I'm thinking it's about a 50-mile radius. Okay, so say you're 49 miles from a tower, it's going to try to amplify that signal. All right? It's got something that's going to try to amplify it. You might get, like, let's just put it in a bar situation. You might get 1 bar on your cell phone, but plugging this in, maybe get 3 if you're lucky. That's what to expect, okay? It's not a miracle worker. It's not going to go 100 miles down the road and pick up a signal and, like, give you internet. Just set the expectations. So it says the outside antenna reaches out to the cell tower to access voice, text, and data signals while parked or in motion. Key part. The boost signal. The booster receives the outside signal, amplifies it, and sends it to the inside antenna. Then, it transmits the signal. The inside antenna broadcasts the boosted signal to cellular devices inside your RV. Multiple users. Another key thing. Multiple users. So this isn't just like, you know, the little kids who got the iPad and they're watching the show and you're stuck. No. You have multiple users connected to this bad boy. All right. So let's go ahead and pop this open, as you can see. All right, welcome back. That was a struggle. But we have successfully unboxed the Weboost. There's what you get. This is literally, I just plopped the box open. This is what you see. Can't make it any more real than this, guys. Okay? Setup example. There you got your motorhome. This is what's inside the box. The Drive X booster and bracket. The inside antenna, the outside antenna, well, what is that? Some kind of extension outside antenna ladder mounts, AC/DC wall power supply, keywords, DC/DC hardware power supply, and an installation accessory kit. All right. Now, already, I've mentioned DC, not just AC. That's a bonus. Very key things here to notice. Don't forget to register your product. Instruction manual. Need help? Contact us directly. Heard their customer service is good. Now, I don't know with the whole COVID-19 thing broken into that. I don't know. A lot of places had like half customer service because they're like cut their staff or working from home or whatever. A hole saw bit. Yeah, I don't always like that. This doesn't look good either. Antenna spring and side exit adapter. The install is starting to seem quite daunting. Coax cable or cable, let's see. 25-foot cable for outside antenna. This bad boy, gotta be our outside antenna, right? 360 omnidirectional antenna. What else we got? There's some of our brackets. Now this is the ladder mount bracket. Okay. What else do we got? Cable mounts. Make them look clean. What do we got here? Cable entry cover. Cable ties. Big antenna. No, this is an extender. Just kidding. It's like a magic wand. Hola, Kazam, install yourself. Didn't work. Your fused 12-volt hardwire power supply can be used optionally. Refer to the installation guide. Okay. Power is optional. Step 4. Well, some of my steps fell apart. Sounds like my AA. Let's go to the inside antenna. That's step 3. I did make it past that. Oh, I'm just kidding. And if I've offended anyone, I'm sorry. It was just a joke. This is the actual booster itself. Don't know if there's a sticker on it. Doesn't say. But yeah, most of these have steps, but this is step 4, the booster. So it says find a location to place the booster. Connect the cable from the outside antenna to the port labeled outside antenna on the booster. Connect the cable from the inside antenna to the port labeled inside antenna, and you should be good to go. Protect your purchase, all that good stuff. Again, not a lot with the booster. It's just got power, antenna, inside, outside antenna. Very sleek booster though. And then this is like a little bracket mount for that. Steps 1 and 2, the outside antenna. Obviously we missed steps 1 and 2. Step 5 and 6 are power supply, another one. Let's see, this one was the optional one. Fused 12-volt hardwire, so this is your DC, and then this is the connected power supply to booster and plug into RV's power supply. Okay. Don't know which one you'd use for DC. Since that connects to a power supply, I don't know. So anyway, that is everything in the box. Now, I did want to point out too that this is, if I can find the manual. Here we go. I buried it. We want to look at some of the specs real quick. Now, works with all carriers. Okay. Most of these do work with all carriers. Some don't, but I do want to put that out there. It does work with all carriers. There's a good package contents. We already went over it, but there you go if you want to pause the video. Okay. It does all the steps here. Basically that you saw were you matched this to the box, but like I said, my steps kind of fell apart. Light patterns, using optional accessories. This is 5G able, by the way. So it's not just a 4G booster. This does do 5G. Trying to see here. I don't know. This is pretty small, but we'll kind of cover this more If you have questions too, feel free to go look it up. But it gives all of its product number, model numbers, all that kind of stuff. Antenna kit options, troubleshooting, light patterns, compare results, which we will do. 3 dB, 6 dB, 10, and 20. Shows the signal improvement, what you can expect out of this guy. Pretty good. We're going to do a demo. Once we set this up, we'll do a demo inside the RV of not connected to this and then connected to it. So we'll turn this off. We'll see what we get for signal strength and also network speeds. We'll do a network test, and then we'll plug into this and see what our signal strength looks like and do another network test. So you're going to get a nice demonstration of what to expect from this guy. I'll also try to figure out how many miles I am from the nearest tower. All this stuff kind of is needed to give you a true estimate of where, how this is going to work. Now, we will actually, second part of the series, we will actually go out camping, and hopefully one of them will be boondocking, and we'll really put this to the test. So, just saying. And then again, we will come back and we will probably do a side-by-side comparison of which one's best, the Weboost to the SureCall Fusion to Go. Okay, we'll do a little comparison there. These are, like I said, these are in the top echelon of the boosters that are out there for RVs. So let's put them head to head. Let's see what we get. That's the fun stuff, right? All right. So we're going to end the video at this point. We've gone over what's in the box, its features. We'll go over the install next, and then, like I said, we'll do the demonstrations and stuff after we get it installed and set up. So anyway, more coming, guys. All right, we're installing the Weboost booster to the back of the Basecamp. After exploring a lot of options to mount the antenna, the external antenna, come up with a good idea here of actually using the existing back door. If you can see the back door here. It really was amazing that it out of the box lined up perfectly with the door hinge. So putting this here prevents from having to drill any additional holes, and I'll come back and show you the finished product, because we're going to use the extension, the aka magic wand, in the very beginning of the introduction video to get the antenna up over the roof, which is the recommended install method. So definitely do want to show we're putting in a bunch of 3M auto stick tape here too for added support. Not only will the screws that came out of this hinge go back in, but it's going to be taped pretty darn solid too. So we'll come back and finalize the install of the exterior antenna, as you can see all this right here, and go from there. Alright guys, welcome back. So we have finished the installation of the Weboost antenna. So we have put it on the back here. As you can see, we did mount it to the bracket for the back door. Fit like a glove, perfect. We got the spring, we got the extension that looks like the magic wand, and then the omnidirectional antenna up over there. Also took the cabling and ran it along here, in here, along with the Voyager cam, through the running light into the Airstream itself. Then we went under the sealer. There's a rubber seal around this door. We went under that, down the side, came into the Airstream, and then what we did was actually take a few screws off, go into the inner shell, down through a hole by the water pump, and then that is where the booster is, as you'll see coming up here in the next footage. But definitely got the outside taken care of for the Weboost antenna. It is a very clean install. You've got to be very creative on Airstreams, especially small ones like this little tin can here, because it is tight. There's really hardly any way to get into this thing. You really don't want to drill holes into an aluminum roof. You know, if it was fiberglass or something, it'd be a different story. You just try not to drill a lot of holes when you're doing this kind of stuff into the roof. It's just another option for leakage and stuff. So this was a good situation to set this up. If you have a Basecamp, this would be my suggestion. The antenna does clear the roof very well. I did test it in multiple positions and did not lose any signal boost whatsoever, really putting it here. Even though it's kind of on the back and not in the front in the highest position on the roof. But this definitely works. and we'll get your signal boosted. So that is the final installation piece for the Weboost from Wilson Electronics out here on the back of the Basecamp. Now we'll go inside and take a look at how that looks on the interior. Alright guys, so as you can see here, it's pretty much covered up. You can't really tell. Now the booster or the Wi-Fi antenna is right here. So I have mounted the a little shelf here and put the antenna here. The coax runs down, and we're going to remove this cushion, and I will show you exactly how this is set up. So we'll remove this pillow, and it's pretty clean. Now if you look at the back door, you don't see any coax cable. Why? Because so you take off a couple of the screws here that are on the housing here, and you can get behind this aluminum inner shell. The cable is actually ran behind that and will come out. Now the booster is actually right here. It is plugged in to that outlet. So the booster is back there. Now let's take this off. Oops. We'll remove that. Guess we got it snapped. Let's remove the snap. You can start to see the cable. Can you see the cable right there? Yes. Got some cable management going on. So that's nice. Let's go ahead and remove the seat cushion. And there you go. Cable goes back to right there. Think of that. Now, let's remove this, and I'll show you the booster in here. There it is. Can you see it? A little dark. There's the booster. Right there. So, the coax came in through a little hole down there where the water pump's at, which worked out really good. Cable's hidden super well, and again goes up to the side here. You can see cable management right here, USB ports, and boom, our boosting antenna. So we're good to go. That is how I set up the Weboost in the interior of the RV. Very clean. You can see nothing here is showing cable wise. That's what you want. You want a clean install. We'll do a demonstration of the signal and how this boosts it coming up next. Alright guys, welcome back. So we are in the Basecamp. There is our amplified antenna sitting on that shelf. I've ran the coax, as you saw in the previous clip, down, and it's under the bench. And so right now I've actually got the booster unplugged. You can see down there, got a little light. Right, let's shine a little spotlight down here on the booster. Maybe that'll work. There we go. Unplugged. Okay, so this is an aluminum can. Seriously, this is the best demonstration of a cell booster that I could ever possibly do, because I'm in an aluminum can. So let's put our iPhone into field test mode. Now, if you're not familiar with how to do field test mode, focus, there we go. That's the number you're going to want to put in. So I'm just going to hit dial. And I'll go back a couple. So what you're going to see once you hit dial, and this works very similar with an Android, and there might even be apps for Android to do it. So you're going to go in, you're going to get the main menu, and you're going to say LTE. Okay, so we're going to click LTE. And then you get a bunch of other options here. So what we're going to do is hit serving cell MES, MEAS, okay? And the key number, now this probably hasn't refreshed, but we're looking for the RSRP0, which right now, this will focus, is at -99. It's right there. Now, this will refresh, and it did, and now it's at -109. It's down here. It's never in the same spot. You got to track it down. So we're getting in the -109 range. Now, that is not the best service at all, actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the chart that we will look at here. And basically this chart kind of shows the decibel or the dBs where you want to be. So like excellent would be on the LTE would be like -9. All right. Good's -91 to -105 dB, and then fair 106 to 110. Poor 111 to 119, and then dead is -120. So think of this: the lower the negative, the better the signal. Okay. So what are we sitting at right now? Let's go back to our field test. Boom. We'll bring it up. Now remember, 120 is a dead zone. Our RP0 now is at -108. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pause this video, and then I'm going to plug in the booster, and we're going to wait for a little bit, and then we're going to refresh this. So we're in the -100s basically, and here it refreshed again. We're at -107. So you know, we're in the kind of poor to fair range basically. So I'm going to plug this in, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, guys. So I'm going to show you. Boom, baby. Let's get down here. Get down here. Wait for it. We're plugged in. Okay. We've waited a couple minutes for the booster to stabilize, get all booted up and everything. Without any voodoo magic behind the scenes or anything, let's take a look at where our field test is at now. So we are at our RP0 is -83. Can we focus that? Focus, please. There we go. So we've gone from like 112, 108 negative to -83, and now I just refreshed again. We're at -89, and so that is a very, very good booster. Our cell signal now is much better, and basically we have gained. If you look at the word of thumb here, we're in the excellent category is -90. So we have gone from about a fair signal to an excellent signal with this booster. So that is killer. You know, this is going to make a big difference on speeds. Now, I'm kind of having some difficulties with the speed tests, but let's go ahead and run a speed test. Now, it's finding the optimal server, and this is terrible. It doesn't find the right server. I don't know why. So I'm just going to put in the closest one that I know of, and we're going to hit speed test, go. Now, I should have probably ran this prior to, and is this very impressive? Not really. There, it's going up a little bit. But this definitely makes a big difference when it comes to, you know, your connectivity and stuff. And yeah, that looks horrible, but prior to, you know, and I totally don't understand why this isn't faster, because, you know, it shows I've got 2 bars up here. Now this thing isn't like super accurate or anything like that. It says 5GE, but you know, with 2 bars and being in that -80 range, I'm expecting a lot better than 3 megabits per second. That's just not, you know, it'll work. Is it acceptable? Nah, not really, because it's just, I expect faster than that. So the speed test that I've been doing isn't exactly adding up to the actual dBms that I'm getting. You know, look at that. That's just not great. But yeah, let's go back to our test here, and this just got to refresh, and we're at -74. So you would think it would be much better. Tell you what, just for chagrins, I'm going to unplug this. We're going to go back to no booster. Let's run a speed test. I should have done that at the beginning. Let's do it now. We'll be right back. Alright guys, welcome back. So I have unplugged the booster, and we are now at -110. And it was pretty instantaneous. Once that booster went off, that my dBs came down to in the -100s again. So -110. Now we're back into that fair range on the chart. So you would think, you know, I've gone from like the -80, -70s there for a little bit, to the -110. You'd think my cell would be like crappy. So let's run a speed test. Now I actually prior to bringing this up, did run a speed test. Here was on the booster, 3.11, off the booster, 3.46. The upload was worse off the booster. On it was a little bit better. And we were getting some 6s and 4s prior. So let's go ahead and run a no booster speed test. Okay, so let's just go ahead. I'm going to make sure, yep, got the same server. Connecting, go. This is off booster in the tin can. And look at this. We're actually getting better speeds. That makes no sense. I'm telling you. So, you know, it's one of those things where there's a lot of variables in play here, and you can actually, if you've got a decent signal and you engage a booster, you can actually make it worse. So, you know, I need to kind of get out to where I have really, really, really bad signal and test this out. This is in a suburb. I am kind of at a range at the end of a tower, you know, and I am in this aluminum can that does have some, you know, look, I got 11.1 and 1.23, and if we go to results, that's been the best I've got, except for, that was LTE, but that probably wasn't even on a booster. So, you know, I get better speeds off the booster where I'm at. So, you know, it's just one of those things where you're just going to have to experiment. And if you're boondocking and you know you're going to someplace, you know, you read those campground reports and they say, sorry, cell signal sucks here, then this is definitely a thing to use and see how you do. So, anyway, guys, that's been the Weboost. We will have videos where we actually go out camping and demo this stuff. Now, this was just a quick demo. In the burbs, in the camper, after an install. So you've seen what it's sitting at when I'm in the burbs and I got decent signal. I know it's fair, it's not poor. We need to really test it when we get to a poor signal spot, which I'll have that in the series coming up when we actually do hit the road. So anyway, guys, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the show, and as always, thanks for watching. Check the show notes too for a link to this. This is one of the top rated cell boosters out there. So check it out, guys. Thanks for watching and have a good one.